country, politics has built-in, compelling, fascinating stories. It has the built-in drama of elections and everything it takes to run a campaign. Sometimes it's about policies that can go ahead and actually run the world, and then a lot of times it has to do with just that particular country. But what about the people behind the politics? Not just the politicians, but also the staff and the campaign. What does it mean to go ahead and actually run for office? What type of stress does that put on relationships? What type of loyalties are conveyed? And what are the sacrifices that are made for the people behind the scenes? The Taiwanese series Wave Makers attempts to go and actually give you a look into that world. Now, I myself am 50-50 on dramas. It always depends on the type of drama, but for political dramas, I'm usually more in than not. So usually when it comes to political dramas, that's my thing. So my take on this series is going to be as a main target audience member, given that main character energy and perspective. But I'll also chime in on what casual viewers are looking for when watching a political drama. Now, I always review the first 2 episodes and new series on streaming platforms. This is part of my Varnell Hill series, basically asking the question, did you miss me? These are new series that have been out for a while, but for whatever reason, they haven't gained traction or popularity with North American audiences. Sometimes it's because they haven't gotten advertisement. Sometimes it has to do with the release dates and running up against other shows that are more popular. Sometimes it's just a bad series. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and actually give it a good judgment myself and determine if it is a diamond in the rough. If that sounds intriguing to you, do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe. And now, let me get into this review for you. Wave Makers premiered in April of 2023 on Netflix. It's a political drama series that contains 8 episodes, each clocking in around 50 minutes apiece. Filmed in Taiwan in Taiwanese, there is no audio dubbing, but there are English subtitles. Now, if you're new to my channel, you just know that I'm horrible with pronouncing non-North American names. So rather than mispronouncing names of people, I'm going to list them right here. And I'll make sure you know who I'm referencing when I'm talking about a specific actor. Fair enough? Cool. Now, when going actually doing reviews of this nature, I'm going to go and actually look at, for main target audiences of political dramas, we usually need the political intrigue to be good. How does a drama in this series affect the political process? How does it affect the election as a whole? We like to see the behind the scenes. Who or what is driving policy? Was it done with good intentions or underhandedness? We also want clear lines of whose allegiance lies where. Story is front and center. Characters are usually secondary. With casuals, the process and that whole intrigue aspect isn't as necessary for enjoyment. If you're not a political series fan, you're likely cynical about the process anyways. So you want good characters to identify with, and the story has to make sense in a real world sense. Now, let's see if we can give Wave Makers elected. Nah? Eh? The synopsis goes like this. A heated election is on the horizon. A team of campaign staffers must confront tough choices while navigating a cutthroat political landscape. In this story, we get full bursts of the campaign. This is a democracy-led country, so it's about popularity. It's also about minute-by-minute perception. It's also about sound bites and headlines. Now, we mostly follow the campaign of the Justice Party and its candidate and staff. We have many personalities and the stories going on within this election cycle. Like, one of the leaders is a middle-aged man who loves his job, but it usually takes precedence over his family. Or there's a leader that is a woman, former candidate, she's a lesbian, who lost her election when she lost her cool in public on a disrespectful older man who questioned her legitimacy as being a woman. We have a younger female staff member who has experienced past harassment from the opposing political candidate, and no one knows about that. There are other stories within this campaign trail as well. The stories are relatable and they're well thought out. It is different to watch these things play out in a Taiwanese culture. This is my first extended exposure to their culture, and while they are more polite and reserved than we are typically in North America, there are some very familiar stories to be told. Both mains and casuals will like the stories being told. The acting is very good. The three main characters I laid out before are giving good performances. Now, special shout out to, as the previous mentioned female leader. Now, she struggles with seeing how the system and party has failed her in the past, but she still believes in doing the right thing for the right reason. Also, we have, as the younger female staffer, the struggle that she finds is with coming to terms with dealing with what has happened to her and how she views men and the world, and it is an intriguing prospect going forward. Both of these women are great and giving great performances, and there are some other good supporting roles as well. Both mains and casuals will find the acting is good for this one. It's at about the level as a well done North American network show, so that's what you can compare it to. Other things to call out in this series: be ready for trying to understand the culture. Most North American viewers haven't watched foreign series and can't get past the first few minutes of culture shock. This was my first time watching a Taiwanese series, and it's a bit different than other Asian countries. Perhaps a mix of the bright sanitized viewing of Korean shows, but with the serious vibe of a Japanese drama. But overall, you need to have patience when watching this show, and you have to be open-minded. Speaking of patience, the subtitles and dialogue go fast in a few scenes due to what's being conveyed on the screen. If you don't read quickly or adapt to subtitles after about 20 minutes, it's going to frustrate you, and this is just a fair warning. Be patient with yourself and the series. So let's get to the verdict for Wave Makers. For both target and casual audiences, I'm going to say watch the first 2 episodes. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes through the first episode to be comfortable with the show and for them to set up what's happening. But once you know the players, you start to hone in on the various stories, the motivations, the frustrations, the drama, and the sacrifices. There are good characters to watch out for. This can definitely be a hidden gem for those that not only like political dramas, but dramas in general. So again, for all audiences, I say give this a 2-episode watch. And that's what I have for Wave Makers on Netflix. Check it out.
只能靠自己，什么党都是一样。
I appreciate you staying for the entire review. Do me a favor, click like, share, subscribe if you liked everything. If you didn't, leave a comment below or check out one of these other reviews that I have on here for you. But until the next time in the next review, I'll holler at you.